recording.
All right, everybody, in 3, 2, 1. Konnichiwa, mi gente. Welcome to another episode of the Shinobi Unfolding. I am your ninja, Jay Aguilar.
I am the Fit Chef Black Ivory, JL.
Hey guys, I'm the professor.
Monty.
Senpai.
And of course, tonight's guest, he's an upcoming artist, entrepreneur, doing big things with a lot of group of people. I'm going to let him do more of the talking. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Big Frank.
Woo!
Big Frank.
On, guys. What's up? Konnichiwa, everybody.
Yes.
Ni hao ma.
Ni hao ma.
Ohio.
Shishini.
That's Chinese. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yamero.
Yo, but he said it.
No, he said it perfectly. And we're here to talk on something so amazing, mind-blowing. It's like tres leches in your mouth, chunola, when you're trying to pronounce it. We're here to talk about anime. Those are, all of that is just insider for us for tonight. But you can follow the Shinobi Unfolding on all the podcast media. We're talking about the Apple Podcast, the Google Music, the Paradise, the YouTubes, the Insta.
We're on Spotify.
We on Facebook.
We're on Spotify, right?
We are on Twitter. We are in so
We're on
many places.
iVoox, son.
I have not heard of it. We are in podcasts. We are on our radio podcast. You just Bing it, you Google it, you ask for someone, and they'll tell you about the Shinobi Unfolding. Matter of fact, if you're following us, all you gotta do is tell, "Hey Siri, hey Google, play the latest episode of the Shinobi Unfolded," and it will do it for you. That's how
I got my Google Home site to do that right now. I'm just like, let's
Ask
listen.
Alexa.
We didn't rehearse that part.
Can we ask Alexa?
Not right
I
now.
have one. Yo,
Literally, just
I'm
be
gonna
like,
check that
Alexa,
later.
listen to the latest episode of the Shinobi Unfolding, and it'll start playing.
Yo, I'm gonna do that later. That's a real thing. I'm gonna do that later. I didn't know you guys did that. That's great.
Yeah, we didn't do it. The internet did
You know
it.
what?
And
I'm
we
feeling
appreciate
so
you guys.
froggy. I might just make a Vimeo after this.
or your OnlyFans if you want. I fully support you. Before we start, Big Frank, let the people know who you are, what you do, how you do it, and how you got into anime. You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to be the general question we're going to ask you: how you got into anime, and we're going to go straight to the topic of tonight.
Gotcha. All right, so my name is Big Frank. I'm an artist here in Rhode Island. I'm a songwriter also. We just opened up a new studio called 7 Key Studios with a team with a photography team of Christian, Aldana, Luminous Views, and then you have the team of Already Forgotten. That also includes Luminous Views, KO, Autopilot, myself, and Jaleel. So we have a new business. If anybody listens to this podcast, you will get a deal if you listen to this podcast. So if you listen to this podcast, you get a deal. So just hit me up, and you get a deal. Is there anything else? Right now, I'm just really focused on music right now. So there's nothing real busy. So I'm basically, I work 2 jobs. So basically, I work 1 job, and then I come here for my second job. So that's what I do basically. And how I get into anime, I could say Toonami put me on.
Yeah.
So now I put the whole hood on,
Always
man.
a warm.
That's a solid. That's a solid.
But there was one show I used to hear on Toonami and I couldn't stand it.
Oh, put it up. What is it?
Lupin the Third.
What?
I couldn't stand that. I can't stand that.
Was it an
It's gonna be a rough
artwork?
show.
Out of all the things you could have chose, it could have been
Hamtaro.
Code Lyoko, Hamtaro, some bullshit. But you pick Lupin the Third?
What?
Lupin the Third, I'm sorry, but it's just like it was goofy to me. I don't know. It just thought it was goofy.
So, I think I get the man. Like I think when you were younger, like it just wasn't like you're watching Dragon Ball, you're watching some other stuff, you were Yu Yu Hakusho. You just didn't have the same. But like if you go back now, man, if you give it a second chance,
there's
you will
5
appreciate
series of it since like.
No, just watch one of the movies. Watch one of the movies.
Don't do that. Yo, my boy put me on. He's a huge Lupin fan. Just watch Lupin the Third's The Woman Called Fujiko Mine. That shit's way better, man. It's super dope. Like it shows how she meets every single character, and it's very well done, man. Very, very well. The animation style is very clean too.
Another thing too, what other show I thought was goofy and it had like the same sort of style was One Piece, but I gave it a chance. I actually liked it. I liked it. After I
Frank, if
watched it
you've
when I
watched
was
this
older.
show, you know that's my shit, bro.
Okay. But at first, when I was little, I was like, yo, what's this goofy show right now? I don't want to watch this. But when I got older, I started appreciating it more. I was like, wow, I really missed out on One Piece. So
I have just gained
that's my confession
absolute
for the
respect
night.
for you.
Yeah.
That's my confession.
Yo, I mean, dude, you first scare me, but then you recover, and I'm like, yo, this guy's great. It's gonna be a great show. It's gonna be a great show.
So JL was gonna rip his shirt like.
So did I.
No, honestly, like for us, most of it is like JoJo Bizarre. But one night, we talked about it in a previous episode. We watched the live action movie that encouraged majority of us to watch the following season 4, season 5. So we know exactly where you're coming from.
All right, so I have a question for y'all about JoJo. All right, I heard, because I know that show got a bunch of muscular dudes everywhere. Was it true that they were skinny before? I heard like in the first season they were skinny.
No.
In the manga?
AI.
Go ahead.
Yes,
Go
no.
ahead. This is your realm.
This is your
It
realm.
is. So part 1 starts off in the early 1900s or late 1800s with a gentleman called Jonathan Joestar. He starts young, and then they do a time skip where he's like 17, 16, and he's massive. It's just in his genetics. The generations go. Every other Joestar gains these special abilities, and every part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a new Joestar, a new member of the lineage. So every part is a different character, different time.
Okay. Because someone was explaining that to me. I was like, I know that show. I watched like a good 5 episodes of that. That's not really my type of show, but I actually liked it. So I really appreciate it. I just didn't understand because someone was telling me, oh, they used to be skinny before. Now they turn muscular.
Oh, I know what they're saying. And actually, Professor could touch on that too. So there was it was in the 80s. There was a series that was animated before, kind of like if you know about Hunter x Hunter, the way that he had a series in 1999 and then they redid it. Again, they touched it up and did the animation a lot differently. JoJo's had a series in the 80s. Later on, they reanimated in the late 90s, and that's what we know now. They just redid the parts over because, again, they were overly muscular, and then they kind of downsized the characters to be much more realistic. Because back then, if you think about it, you had Sylvester Stallone, you had Dolph Lundgren. Everybody was fucking jacked in the 80s. So, yeah, exactly. You had the most muscular man in bodybuilding had started probably about 20, 30 years ago before that. So it was very, very popular for a male antagonist or protagonist to be massive and just as muscular as possible. Striations in their legs that don't even make sense kind of thing.
So like a wrestler, I would say. I would like Hulk Hogan, Macho, and all that stuff like that.
Yeah, they were all big and
but
it's
like
always very time period
like
specific.
That.
Yeah, they are.
Every character.
And if you do go to the later parts, like where Jay is right now, and then the next part he's about to get to, they go through like the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. If you look at fashion and the way that our diets have changed over time, just in different regions and as humans in general, it just reflects during those times. You know, the clothes, the way that they show themselves off. It's just very, very reflective of the time, basically.
That makes sense. Okay. I like that, actually. Thank you for the explanation. I just didn't know. So I'm about to watch that.
I mean, if you
got another one.
I mean, like, if anything,
Empire next.
Yeah, okay.
It's not gonna happen, man.
Okay, let's put Senpai.
Them guys, their necks have necks.
No,
like,
you don't understand. In part 4, when they talk about when they talk about Josuke, it's definitely more feminine, but they're still like badass. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not looking for them.
You have to think about it. Like, you have to think about it, dude. You look back at fashion from the early 80s. Like, it was just weird, man. Like, it
was tight. David Bowie. We just gotta say David Bowie.
Thank you.
That's all. It's just David Bowie, man.
Sky is yellow. Night is purple.
Bro, you
it's crazy.
I go to the gym and I have guys that used to bodybuild in the 80s, and they're still in the gym bodybuilding. And they wear like the cut off shirts, like just below the nipples, and they're just in there, like, and they're like 50s, 60s, just putting up like 300, like nobody's business. I'm like, why? Like,
Professor,
talk about Grizz like that.
No, I was just gonna say it's kind of like if you guys ever watched that show on Netflix called Glow.
Yeah,
the way. just the way that all the guys dressed in that show. That's kind of what it reminds me of JoJo from the 80s. It's the same thing. Like the weird blazers, really like pastel colors, the hair, everything's about the hair, you know.
When you watched the live action, right? And we saw how they reiterated the fashion, and then you watched the anime. Do you see the difference in the animation versus the live action? Live action was done 3 years ago?
2007, 17.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the animation was done probably a little bit before or after that. It was before
2016. Yep.
Right. So I mean, it's a little more reflective. I mean, they're not going to put the same clothes that Josuke had on a human being. There's no way, with like the weird open chest thing, the heart, and all that. And if you go into part 5, Giorno's clothing is just out of this world. Like whole squad in part 5 is just like, why the fuck are you wearing that? But she ended up not caring at some point, you know.
Their parents don't care what they look like when they walk up the road. That's why, man.
Not at all.
They got terrible parents.
No, they don't.
I think I want to tell Frank is like, when you watch JoJo, right? Don't pay attention to the protagonist. Okay, you don't worry about the JoJos. Focus on the villain. Once you see the villain and how badass they made them and how they deliver their parts, that sells itself. Nothing more than that.
So I did actually hear about him. I heard he got like cut in half and he regenerated because he can't die. Type of villain.
I'm not gonna ruin anything.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna confirm or deny. I'm just gonna say, just pay attention.
That manga. Sorry.
You know what? He's an oracle.
I didn't mean to kill it.
You know what? I'm just gonna take a sip for Jonathan Joestar, the only Joestar that didn't have plot armor. Okay.
Salute.
Oh,
I'll drink to that with you.
Yeah, I'll drink to that too.
All right, guys. So we got dive into what Shinobi Unfolding usually do, but today topic I feel like it might expand a little bit because we want to talk about the streaming services. Okay, this is an idea that Monty brought to the table, and I think it's very important that he himself give a little bit more insight of our topic tonight. So Monty, floor is yours.
Oh, all right, cool. Thanks, man. So yeah, man, we're talking streaming services tonight because obviously we all love anime and we got to find anime somewhere. Because I don't know about you, I don't want to sit through a trillion fucking pop-ups on Kiss Anime all goddamn day. Like...
I was gonna bring Kiss Anime up, but I'm glad you said that.
So I'll gladly pay $7 to $10 to watch all my favorite shows. So yes, I did a breakdown of a cost analysis and like kind of what each streaming service brings to the table. Do you want me to just run through that or
go for it? Yeah.
Sure. All right. So first up, we got Netflix, which is the most popular streaming service out there. $12.99 right now. We got 100. So as far as anime related titles, we got about 100 and plus anime titles. Then we got Hulu up next, which is pretty popular, and that's $11.99 for the ad free. I went all off the ad free prices. So here we go, which is about 230 titles, which is pretty impressive. And that's
Hulu has 230 titles.
Yeah,
they made a nice deal. That's why.
Yeah, they made a great deal with Funimation, so they've got some good titles on there. A lot of popular titles.
Yeah, go back to that later. Keep going.
Then we got Prime Video, which is pretty booty, but there's some hidden gems on there. There's some hidden gems on there.
That UI is trash.
And if you don't have Amazon Prime and you just want the Prime Video subscription, it's $8.99 a month, and we have about 250 included anime titles. There's about 1,500 if you're willing with movies and such that you could rent, but included with Prime is 250.
There's a lot more purchases on there than free, easily.
Yeah. Then for just in terms of popularity and like normie in a normie sense, HBO Max, which is at a steep price of $14.99 a month, but there's a lot included with that. As far as anime goes, we're only looking at 38 titles right now, which is about 17 series from Crunchyroll and 21 movies from Studio Ghibli, and that's really what it's got going for itself is the Ghibli films.
Hell yeah!
Then next up we got The King of Kings, which is Crunchyroll at $7.99 a month with approximately 1,200 anime titles.
Yep.
Which is like it's the largest library. Then Funimation. Next up we got second best Funimation. If you're a dirty dubber like I am, You got Funimation, and that's clocking in at $7.99 a month. And we have about 600 titles on there. It's the largest dub library. Follow that up with High Dive, which isn't bad. I mean, I gotta say, it's the most moderately priced at $4.99 a month. And you're looking at about 500 titles. And it's they boast that they have the largest Spanish dub library available to stream.
Bro, that's
pretty cool,
I
actually.
looked into it. I don't know if maybe I'm special, but I can't make it work it out so I can get the Spanish one. So like I never find anything that I'm interested on.
The user interface isn't the greatest, but I mean it's dope.
That's a big factor though.
Oh, huge. Then we got because I'll bring that up later about Prime. And then we got VRV, which is like the combination for $9.99 a month. That's the best deal in the market, in my opinion.
It is. So
there you go, 1,700 titles right there, right off the bat.
Ooh.
And I think that's pretty
husky,
dope.
as a great man would say. That is husky.
That is mind blowing. So I will start saying when it comes to my money and where I'm putting it at. So far, I have my money on Hulu Plus, ad free. I do have it on Funimation, but honestly, not had used it not one time in my life.
Oh, that hurts my heart. Don't say that.
I'm about to end the subscription. And
I thought you were gonna say you were about to share it with all of us.
Yeah, no. And then the other ones that I have, I'm been blessed with great group of people who just share with me, and that's with Netflix, Crunchyroll, and I believe VRV. So those are the ones I use. Frank, which ones have you been rocking with from the list or any other site that you might be going to?
I would say Crunch at first. This is before I moved to Funimation solo, but before I liked when Crunchyroll, VRV, and Funimation was one. So that was dope when they used to have that combination. But ever since Funimation left Crunchyroll, I was just like, all right, let me just go to Funimation because they had the most dubbed anime. And it came out like the day after or came out the same day. So I was just like, all right, let me just go Funimation. I love this switch.
Do you use Funimation and specifically for dubs because you have to multitask all the time? I know being an artist, you're writing all the time, producing, probably talking to somebody. Is that why?
That's tough for me because there's some animes I need to watch in English and there's some animes I need to watch in Japanese. Okay. So, for example, I need to watch Dragon Ball Z in English because I can't stand Goku's voice.
Man, everybody hate yo. Why? Man.
That's how he sounds like to me. So I'm like, I can't do that. So I can't do that. But I feel like my hero's good in Japanese. I love it in Japanese.
And English too.
I feel like Deku's voice is kind of I don't know. He just sounds weird to me.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just me.
Sorry, man. His balls haven't dropped yet. He'll be all right.
They never will. The voice actor's balls will never drop.
Hopefully. Honestly, it just matters on what show. Like Cowboy Bebop, I'm actually watching in English.
Yep. I have the hard copy in English as well, but you can always switch to Japanese.
Steve Bloom's fucking voice as Spike.
Yeah, Steve Blue is amazing. Everything he touches.
Yeah.
Between Wolverine to Spike to every other character he has under his repertoire. The guy's amazing.
Bunch of video games. Video games.
Yeah.
That Guinness World Record. Good to him, man.
Let's go, bub.
What else? What show was very, very good? Believe it or not, very low key and very underrated. Darwin's Game in Japanese was actually very good.
Oh, okay. I watched that dub because this was one of those weird times where Funimation actually got the exclusive deal of Crunchyroll.
That was during that time. That's right.
Yeah.
That's nutty.
Because, I think that's the first deal they scored with Aniplex over anybody else. Aniplex.
Yeah, I'm really impressed you mentioned Darwin's Game because I personally have heard it in both dub and sub. Honestly, if you really want to, in the background, you just play dub. But if you really just want like the full content of it, just read the subtitle and it's so worth it. It's just like reading from the manga without all the missing
you
parts.
Up to date on the manga?
Sir, you know what's been happening to me, so I can't be like.
He's been a busy man.
I've been a busy man.
You have been busy.
A busy man.
I like to check in every once in a while. I like to check in every once in a while. You know?
He's been busy.
All right.
Sorry.
He's been busy with Red Leche, bro.
You know, Scott's just like, you know me. I'm not too busy. It's just my
He's
hobby.
chasing a ninja for a steak right now.
And kids and working full time. You know, I still read the manga regularly.
Somehow.
Well, actually, Scott
doesn't sleep.
No, yeah. Since you don't sleep, Scott, which one have you been putting your money in?
My money right now, actually, yo, I don't know if we want to talk about it. Honestly, it technically roots from an anime and is, man. But I watched all 6 episodes of Transformers when it came out on Netflix, man. Siege. It was I actually liked it. I'm kind of really disappointed so many people aren't happy with the way they portrayed like Megatron.
I can talk to you about that. I've only watched 1 episode, but it really turned me off right off.
Yo,
the bat.
It's based off the books, man, and comics. Because like literally, when you're watching this, dude, it's like, yo, who's the protagonist first off, okay, and the antagonist. Let that set yourself in, all right, like straight politics, man.
Depends on which side you pick.
Yeah, you can't tell, man. You can't tell. Literally, it's like the Decepticons, like, yo, we're freeing all the slaves and pit fighters, man, to go against our oppressors. And the Autobots, like, yo, but freedom's the right of sentient beings, because that's what Optimus Prime says all the freaking time. So Megatron was literally like, then why don't you join us? Free everybody. How do you argue that? You can't. Everything's so skewed in the beginning. It's nuts.
His own brother, Ultra Magnus, tries to like, oh, it's so good, man.
I've only watched 1 episode, and without spoiling much, because, and by that I mean without you guys fucking spoiling
that's where I'm at.
for me. Thank you.
I didn't spoil it. I'm just saying.
The thing that turned me off right away was the voice of Bumblebee.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but the voice of Bumblebee really turned me off. Like he just came off like a dick. Like.
He's supposed to. Like, he's not even
but I still should have. I think that they should have still picked like a more youthful voice, because when you're youthful, you can be like, I'm so young, I can't make the choice. That's why I don't want to pick this.
He's always been a battle-hardened warrior, though. He's never been young. He's been young in ranks, but I mean, he's always been a warrior. Here's my question about this, though. I didn't check. I watched the first episode myself. I haven't given it enough chance. Can I change languages when I watch it?
Yes,
I think you can. Okay. There's a lot of options.
Yeah, Japanese, Spanish, like
tying to Mani's point about all the subscription services. All right, so you pay what Netflix is $12.99, $13.
Yeah.
Okay, you get this exclusive Transformer show. CG, we'll consider it animation. Okay, you get all these language options versus whatever HBO Max has, and you'll get a Studio Ghibli collection, whatever that you can't get anywhere else. But it's only in one sole language. I can go to Transformers and I can watch it in French if I want.
Yeah, which is dope. Plus. But I mean, if we are talking about like pros and cons, I mean, let's not forget Netflix likes to geo-lock a lot of their stuff. Like BNA, we could have watched that like 4 months ago in Japan, but we just got that
a year ago.
You told me that. You sent me the thing about it, man. I didn't even know that. That's nuts.
They split the seasons of Baki. Same thing.
Seven Deadly Sins.
7 Deadly Sins already ended in Japan. We're still waiting for the last season.
That's probably the biggest one out of all the animes. The one that's been in the biggest lock is that show.
So I would like to quickly, because I opened a box of Pandora that I didn't meant to open. I was really want everybody just give a quick share of what they've been investing on as of the subscription. You know what I'm saying, of the service, and then we could talk about the pros and cons real quick. Like
okay.
So I think we just need JL, Scott, Professor, and Monty. Quick,
everybody but you and Frank.
Yes.
Oh, I watched ReZero too. My bad. It's pretty interesting. My first roll. I'm only 6 episodes deep.
So my subs I have, and back to what Monty said, I've used Kiss Anime, I think, before I even had a Crunchyroll subscription way back when, because I was being cheap and didn't really care. But I will still go back to wherever I can to watch OVAs that don't get released on big subscription services. But under my belt, I have Crunchyroll, I have Netflix, I have Hulu ad-free, and I have Amazon. And that's it.
I also have Amazon. I forgot to mention that, but cool.
Yeah. I don't use Amazon for anime at all, except for Vinland Saga. That's all I've ever used it for, and those really, really bad Marvel animations. But other than that, that's all I use.
A game changer right there, because Vinland Saga, for those who didn't know, won a category in the Crunchyroll Awards, and that
huge
big game changer right there.
Big deal, man.
Professor.
A ton of traffic to Amazon.
So again, I pay for Prime, but I don't pay for Prime for anime. Yeah. Like I rarely. You guys got me into Vinland Saga. Like I watched like the first like 30 seconds at JL's house, and I was like, oh, I'm watching this, and like I caught up before the show ended. Of course, I've been paying for Netflix for a long time.
Thank you, Juan.
No, and don't thank me. Have my nieces thank me too. I got to change the passwords all the time because there'll be like weeks that I can't watch anything, so I have to like change the passwords to many people. And I will pay for HBO Max, but that's mostly because they were getting this huge chunk of the DC Unlimited app, which seems to be going away. I don't think you can even make a new account. So eventually they're going to get rid of it. They're going to fuse them together. That's about it. I mean, I've used the free version of Crunchyroll on my PlayStation, but it's a lot of hiccups in there. I do have Monty let me use his VRV, so I have that on my phone. But and as much as
we swap a lot.
As much as I love VRV, on my phone, it doesn't work unless I'm connected to Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Okay.
It is like I'll start an episode and 30 seconds in, it crashes. Like I have to be connected to Wi-Fi for whatever reason. No other subscription gives me that headache. I think I have Monty's Funimation on my PlayStation, but I rarely use my PlayStation, so I don't really mess a lot with it. And Funimation, again, great app. I like the way it looks. Everything works fine. I love watching things in dub, but the app crashes all the time on the PlayStation.
Sucks so bad. That fucking app sucks so bad. Dude, it's terrible on mobile too, man. I don't want to let you know that. Sometimes I watch stuff on my phone. Absolutely garbage.
Frank, same thing for garbage. You. I was asking Frank, same thing for you.
No, actually.
What kind of phone do you have?
Or iPad?
I don't use it on my phone. I use it for PS4.
Man, PS4 gives me like problems too, man.
PS4
like, searching for stuff like
all the time.
Is there a particular settings that you have that we don't know about?
Yeah,
to be honest, not on the top of my head, but I can find out once I look at it.
I was gonna say, I mean, I feel like that UI is just clunky in general.
Yeah, it always has.
It needs a super update.
They all are. I think Crunchyroll's is clunky, but it's better than Funimation's.
Crunchyroll's has improved. Like last year was really, really bad. You couldn't even like rewind in an anime. You had to start the fucking app over.
On the phone.
That's awful.
Well, I use mine on my Xbox.
Okay, so that's different.
I don't have many problems when it comes to any of my apps on my Xbox anymore. But I mean, that could just be specific to it.
Right, because it's like Microsoft driven, so like it's usually pretty smooth.
Yeah.
I know for like some of the apps that I'm using, like a lot of times it's a lot easier for them to create an app that it's very smooth for like the iPhone, because basically Apple releases one phone. It's the same phone every year, right? So like next year will be another phone, but you make one app.
No,
you perfect one app. Well, Android, there are so many different models that's why like some apps don't work that well.
There's like 20 different notes now.
Yeah. So
literally.
So it's that kind of thing. I did have Monty's Hulu Plus on my PlayStation 2, which again, I did like it. I love using it, but I haven't been using my PlayStation the last couple of months that much because I'm not really home that much. But I love it. Like, I still love it. And then every now and then, there's still like you'll find something somewhere else that might not be around, right? Like, but I pretty much all in all, like, I like every subscription that I've been using. I just think that some of them, because they can't compete with someone huge like Netflix, that's why those apps are not as smooth.
All right, so Monty, since Juan gave most of your resume, what are the remainders of the ones that you don't have?
So because like I do this thing where like I find a friend who's got a subscription. I do a lot of swapping. So like my sister pays for some stuff. I pay for stuff. Juan pays for stuff. So Juan pays for my HBO Max. So I can say I have all of these services, access to all of these services.
Oh, the gems.
Put the gauntlet on them.
So, Netflix is great. It has the smallest library, but they've curated a very solid library, which is awesome. I was rocking with Funimation for the longest because I'm a dirty dubber.
Mm-hmm.
But recently, especially with the COVID-19 impact, even before the COVID-19 like really came into full effect, like in like the beginning of the year in March, the dub schedule had been thrown off. Everything had been starting to like slowly fall off.
That's
so
true.
It's like, days you're supposed to air on Tuesdays, you're getting on Thursdays, so, like anytime you're supposed to get your dubs, you're like, so finally I just started swapping over to the subs, and I've been rocking Crunchyroll pretty hard. I've been rocking VRV super hard lately.
Yes, you have.
That's right, man. They're so good.
And then Funimation on the secondary. So it's not uncommon for me to watch an episode in subs at like once and then rewatch it in dubs later on. But like so Crunchyroll I think is the most bang for the buck. That's my favorite right now. And yeah, I don't know, man. I'm looking at this, and I gotta give honorable mention to Prime because Prime's got some hidden gems, man.
Thank you. You said that. Thank you. You said that.
Yeah, it's Dorohedoro, not Dorohedoro, Dororo.
Thank you. So good.
Vinland Saga, as everybody knows, Inuyasiki. There's
Immortal
like
Blade.
A ton of them. Yeah, Immortal Blade.
They have
Samurai
banana
pizza
fish.
cats.
Banana what?
There you go, man. It's my banana fish. Yo, it actually won an award like 3 years ago. Banana
Get
fish.
out.
Dude, it's like a 25. It's like retro anime looking. It looks like it's back from the 90s when we used to watch stuff like 80s, 90s stuff. It's crazy.
Don't they have Samurai Pizza Cats on Prime?
If they do, it's even better now because of you saying
Samurai
that.
Pizza Cat. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you guys never watched that?
That is so good. Dude, you remember when he gets the armor? He gets like that extra bird. That shit was so cool, man. I love that shit.
Yeah, I gotta watch this now, man.
But you gotta watch it. You gotta watch the American dub because they didn't have a script. The Japanese script, usually they translate it, so they were just making up lines on the fly. Literally, there's like one episode where there's a joke and they're like, yeah, so do we beat the guys? What are we doing next? And they're like, we don't know. We don't have a script for this. And they just look at the screen like,
that's
so good. Let's go.
Okay, Senpai, your list and pros and cons on your favorite subscription.
I just say something real quick beforehand.
Yeah,
I realized my mistakes when you asked that question earlier, and I completely didn't understand it until JL started talking about the question. I was like,
"That was the Pandora box."
That's what he was asking.
We digress. You know what I'm saying? We're good.
I'm one of those people, man, who have to have like instant gratification. I got rid of cable, man, and I literally have every single one of those services you just spoke of. Every single one.
For your
clear the floor real quick. Let's clear that shit real quick. What is cable in this right now?
Cable's got nothing, man. Absolutely. Okay. But yo, I want to.
Wait. That doesn't count.
How much was your cable bill? Because I just want to let you know, all these streaming services together is the total of $67.93 a month.
Exactly, dude. My cable bill was like 100 and like almost $50-$60, dude. Like for cable internet and shit, dude, it's like nuts. But now it's like way cheaper this way, man. I'm alright with that.
Unless you watch sports, though, that's the thing. I have to watch.
Not Amazon. All right, so like, football wise, like Amazon signed a deal with NFL, so you get to watch literally mostly every single game.
Hulu does too, don't they? They have Hulu.
Yeah, they also have.
I think you have to pay extra for sports, though, right?
Well, if you get Disney Plus, they have that deal with Disney Plus, and it comes with Hulu and ESPN.
Yeah, I try to get ads.
That's the basic package. It doesn't include the sports.
And you can also do YouTube TV too, which is even cheaper than cable, and you actually get to pick shit. But yo, I forgot all about this subscription service, man. I don't know if you guys ever knew about it. I was hyped on my Xbox because it was a Microsoft exclusive, but it was called Neon Alley. Viz Media owned them, and it was like anime TV. That's all it is. They had different episodes of random animes, and they would just play them on an actual schedule, and you would just watch them. It was just a random streaming service.
It's a big player, man.
Yeah.
Low key too. Low key, Pluto TV got a Naruto station. You can watch Naruto on. Yeah,
you just play Naruto all day.
All the time.
Is that sub or dub, Big Frank?
It is dub.
That's kind of cool. That's real cool.
You don't understand. Like, to my tech savvy like viewers out here, I gotta say honorable mention is Anime Labs, but it's only available in Australia. It's about $7.99, which is about 6 and change American. If you have a VPN, you can subscribe to the service, and that's how I've been watching the Naruto dub right now.
I'm looking for that sponsor. Look at this.
Wow. Oh my god!
And it is a solid. It's the best UI, best user interface I've seen on any streaming platform so far. You can even skip anime intros. But don't get me wrong, there's certain ones I don't want to skip. Like anytime like Kanaboom comes on Netflix, on Naruto, I'm like, nah, we listening to this shit for like 20 straight episodes. But it's great. Like it's a cool service, man. If you have a VPN, check out Anime Lab.
I want to also throw, if you have a VPN, there's a better service than that. It's called Pirate Bay.
Yeah.
And it's free 99, free 99.
No,
okay,
no,
and whatever interface you got on your computer, it takes on that.
Knock off the internet now.
Big brother, we pay. Big brother, we pay for our stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry, man.
All right, so
there's all
So there are two things I think.
Break it down, Professor.
We didn't really mention, and one is that, and I'm very surprised that Disney Plus has not jumped on the bandwagon of anime.
Nope.
It will. They probably
will. I think that it will. I think that it will.
Dude, I read in an article somewhere that Netflix decided to double down on their investment on anime as a way to like save the service, because so many other people were trying to be Netflix before Netflix, like HBO was trying to be Netflix. And they're like, no, our job is to be HBO before HBO tries to be us.
Yes.
And they were like, yo, we need to one of the first streaming services, normie platforms, to see that anime was a viable means to make money.
And the one that they sealed the deal with, that they made it very clear they were coming for everybody, was with Evangelion.
Yeah, that's a big.
I hear that
flex.
dub is trash. There's a lot of people that like it's a trash.
It
dub.
is, but the thing is, before that, it was so difficult for you to find it in a legal way. There was no one was streaming it, and if you wanted to buy it legally, you were spending like $100 for the Blu-rays.
Jesus Christ!
At least.
Yeah, man, it's serious, dude.
But the other one that I was gonna mention, and sorry before I cut you guys off again, but no one's talking about, because we talked about cable, but no one's talking about Toonami. Toonami is still investing heavily, still trying to bring anime to America before it gets released in Japan.
Yeah, like they did a great job last season with Fire Force. Like 2 weeks after it would air in Japan, it would literally be on an American network in English, which is unprecedented. They were doing the same thing with My Hero Academia. Mm-hmm. Now, like, it got pushed to next year, but we got Uzumaki, which is supposed to air in the US of A before it airs in Japan, which is fucking unheard of. Now we got like their new original anime that they paired up with Crunchyroll that's going to be Fena Pirate Princess. Man. Like,
didn't they? They also brought back Fully Cooley.
They did.
Season 2 and 3.
And then, not even just to mention that, but we also got from Funimation. We got I lost it. I had the momentum and I lost it. Sorry,
man. You are so strong. You were just.
It's about to be good news about Funimation. He loses it, man.
No. But like for the longest time, you could only watch the English dub of The Promised Neverland on Adult Swim.
Oh, really?
It's like you talked about that.
They finally just now, right now, at what was this, mid fucking 2020?
Yeah,
we just got on the Funimation app in English.
All of it?
Yeah, because they secured the whole contract.
Let's go.
All right. So here's a question, and if you want to jump in, just throw the peace sign real quick. What are the pros you look in the UI of these wonderful streaming service? Okay, for an example, for me, I definitely like the skip intro, and the one service that I seen a lot, it has been Netflix. And if there's someone else besides them, please bring it to my to my attention because nobody is doing it better than Netflix. So open table.
Yeah, he's got it down.
Who wants to continue on? Anybody?
I didn't want to jump.
Yeah, you don't want to jump out. One of the things that I enjoyed is, again, if you get simulcast, so if it's airing in Japan the same day that it airs over here, that's why, like, I think one of the main things that attracted me from Crunchyroll and technically BRB, that it's, you know, these shows like My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, that will be released in Japan in the same day that I could watch the episode. Same thing. I don't remember if they did simulcast with Dragon Ball Super as it was airing.
Yeah, no.
But that was like a big. That was like a big. Yeah, that was like a big thing that, you know, like, you don't want spoilers. You love the show. You want to make sure you jump in there. You can watch it right away. That's a big hook for me. You know, being able to change languages. It's a big hook for me. One thing that I do see that it kind of like hurts some of the anime is what Monty was talking about when they're like locked by region. So like Baki having every season split in two, it's very confusing. If you don't know any better and you just watch the show, you're like, how is that the season finale? Like, I'm so confused. How is that supposed to be the climax of the show? Like, the story just feels like it's incomplete because it is incomplete.
Fair point. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll jump in. Just like Mon had mentioned, Dragon Ball made me think of with Adult Swim and Funimation. What's wild to me is, so we had the final episode of Dragon Ball Super in 2017. In early 2017 was the final episode, the end of the Tournament of Power. That was that, right? So Funimation did play that, but all in Japanese. And what's crazy is we didn't, because of Toonami, Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, they purchased the exclusive rights to the dub. We didn't see the last dubbed episode until 2020. Yep. 3 years later.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Because I was watching the Tournament of Power, and then they all turned to Japanese during Master Roshi's scene. So I was just like, okay, what the fuck's going on?
So it's wild. So yeah, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. Same thing with right now, Demon Slayer. Right now, you can only watch the dub on Adult Swim. So if you know somebody with cable, try to do one of those switches like I do. Like, hey man, I got Netflix, I got Hulu. Like, try to get that login info. Like,
remember, Pirate Bay won't let you down.
But you definitely need a VPN that is not based in the US of A or the UK.
Captain Senpai on the ship. Okay.
Yeah.
Big Frank, when it comes to Funimation, right? What would be the major reason you are fully invested and why others should also follow that path with you?
Yeah, definitely. As the Funimation spokesman.
Yo, you need a sponsorship deal, bro.
Big time.
Funimation. All right. I just feel like running. Let me try to get to the other ones first, and then I'll talk about Funimation. But like, all for presentation wise, I feel like Netflix looks beautiful.
Yes.
Like just how it looks and like how it shows like the clips when you're looking through the scenes and stuff like that is beautiful to me. If Disney Plus did get anime, I think it'll top that. But with Funimation, I just feel like with Funimation, it really puts me onto different shows because I'd be looking at the dub section and then I'd be seeing these shows I'd never heard of before, and I just tap on it and then I end up watching it, you know? So that's how I got into Darwin's Game, because I was just like, oh, what is this show? And then I ended up touching it and I ended up playing it, and that's how I got hooked, to be honest. It's very good with showing me new shows, which I like about that. Because with anime, people are very picky. I feel like there's a lot of pickiness in anime. So it did a very good job of letting me pick. All right, this looks interesting. Let me see about this show. And it does a very good job of description, the rating system, and I'll just be like, okay, let me give it a try, at least.
Real quick, my friend, if you're going to be invested in Darwin Wayne, I highly, highly recommend reading the manga because there are certain things are not aired.
A lot of details missing.
Major details.
Skips manga moments, and you're like, who are these characters? Like, there's a detective in there, Jay pointed out, that I had never seen before as a huge part very early on, and I didn't know about him. And I feel like that's a constant thing where I don't want to get off into that subject, but I feel like some anime are getting cut up in order to promote manga, which isn't a bad thing. But if they're going to do that, at least say that's what you're going to do. Call it a certain type of anime if you're going to cut it up. You know what I mean?
That's how it usually is from I'm assuming for any show.
No, that's the thing. It's not to that depth of detail. No. Like you,
like got a high school.
A move, got a high school. Prime example. 5 episodes in. Not even gonna.
Big Frank just opened another Pandora box.
You did, and I'm gonna close it.
This is a new topic. No. Like we'll talk about this another day. But I'm like,
we would love for you to be part of it
quite a bit that lately. I've noticed that quite a bit.
One thing that I didn't notice, and I end up seeing it when I went to Newberry's Comments. I knew there was My Hero mangas, but I didn't know there was My Hero Vigilantes. There was other stuff about
Vig is so good. It's almost done, by the way. It's so exciting. This climax is really good right now.
Oh, you guys are killing me now.
Dude, it's so good, man.
Okay.
No. When it comes to manga, dude, it's one of the best investment you could do online or physical book, because like the information in certain storyline, like Attack on Titan, the story of Levi is beautiful. Like his beginning is so beautiful. You were never ever gonna see it in anime form, but when you read it, mind blowing. But going back to our topic of today, I agree with the presentation. I could say, and I'm not sure who's going to cut in or throw in the 2 cents or play devil advocate, but I believe Hulu does a good job with presentation as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to go even a little bit further, saying a little bit better than Netflix with certain type of effects. Certain type of effects that, to me, capture the eye, easy when I'm using on the Fire Stick compared to my phone. I don't know, something about Hulu when it comes to like skipping and like doing skiing. It just captured my attention. Monty.
I just got to say, the one thing I find super annoying about Hulu in particular is, say like you're watching a show and you fall asleep. It's not like Netflix was like after every 3 or 4 episodes. It's like, hey buddy, you still there? You doing okay?
Still there?
Like
still there? What are you doing?
It doesn't care. It just keeps playing. And then the thing is, you're like, oh shoot, all right, I think I last left off at like episode 5. You'll go to episode 5. And instead of being like, oh, if like the algorithm will read that you're at the last 30 seconds of episode 5, it's like, oh, I'm just going to pick up at the last episodes of 35. You're like, no. Then you got to go back, hit the start over button. And then when you're done with episode 5, right, and you watch the whole thing through, then it jumps to episode 6 at the last 30 fucking seconds. You got to hit the start over button again.
Okay.
So like,
they're called upgrades, okay?
Netflix don't do that. Netflix is on point.
Please.
Whoa.
Please don't cancel your subscription, because Hulu has It's Always Sunny, and that's why I watch that.
Shut up.
Hold on.
Yo, you use my Hulu, so get it out of here.
That's what I'm saying. Don't cancel it, please.
Senpai,
this why I don't share. This why I don't share with nobody, man. You know, because then this happens. It's just all for
greedy,
me,
son. You greedy.
I just want to watch It's Always Sunny.
I do want to testify with the one time Hulu failed me, okay? And I wish Digi was here so he could like co-sign it. But basically, Attack on Titan season 2, I let it, all episode finish up so I could binge watch it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why when I went to Hulu, I hit play, I watched the episode, and I'm so invested to it because everything was so like answering question, and I was so involved, and I loved it.
It was the last episode.
It was the season finale. I watched my first season 2 season finale as the first episode. And, and then I had to start all the way from the beginning because back then it was like 2018 or 2018, there was a lot of glitch with Hulu. But now it improved that are you still awake type or you're still watching thing? They implemented that now on their service in this upgrade. But before, I definitely agree with you, Monty. Definitely was a lot of issues.
Yeah, because they literally just upgraded maybe like last week or the week before.
Yep.
So the recommendations now is real
on point.
It is beautiful, man.
They know me like I know Cupcake, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Bro, I just watched a new anime I never would even think to watch.
Y'all don't even know he's been saying that since high school.
Yes.
He knows. He knows.
They've been picking some good ones, man.
Wait, so I have a question.
Yes,
so
sir.
You guys didn't mention it, but how you guys feel about like what? I hate to be the Funimation guy, but I got to. But I share, like, for example, I have family that watch it. How you feel about with the streaming services in regards to people watching anime at the same time? So I have 6 TVs with Funimation, and I have no problem with that. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're talking about like how Amazon registers to a certain device.
Exactly.
I don't mind that. It makes it more exclusive, especially if you're paying for it. I mean, I get it's a business proposition. You can't just share something that one person is paying for all the time. Netflix, I think, started that train. I don't know how many members you can have with Netflix in total.
You can have 2, and then you can do an upgrade to have 4.
You can do 2 at the same time, though.
I'm gonna,
multiple things, man.
They're watching at the same time, but I have it in like with my nieces. I have it in like 10 freaking. They all
like I let OMK use my Crunchyroll, and I don't mind that. You know,
my nieces will have it, and then their boyfriends will have it, and I don't know who their boyfriends give it to, and that's why I changed the passwords. Like, I have a lot of nieces, so.
Damn, man.
Although when you get distance with somebody, eventually you see their name still there, and you haven't talked to them a while.
Oh yeah, no, I changed the Netflix from the X a while ago. Like I was like, nope, you don't get that anymore.
Now then I got a text from like my friend in New York, and she was like, "Hey, what's the Hulu password?" I'm like, "Who the fuck are you?
Who are you?"
Hi, Karen.
Damn.
Nah, but with Hulu though, it's unlimited.
Hi, Gretchen.
Unlimited?
It's unlimited. Like I did research.
Wow, that's crazy.
You could put it as many Fire Stick, TV, phone. Share it, whoever, and as long as they have the password is legit, they'll still have access to it. As of the fact that watching the same show, it kind of like does show you like, oh, you skip ahead on certain episode, but then you got to figure out who did it and rewind. I think that's the one mighty setback. But
that's my biggest gripe is the picking up, man.
Yeah, but as be able to distribute. Hulu to me definitely like top of the game to my personal opinion. With Funimation, I think it's maybe four people or 6 people at a time, because I know that one time I logged into someone's account.
I think it's 3.
Yeah, I got kicked out one time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know I shared mine with you earlier.
Yeah,
man.
That's why I had to
I've
purchase
never
my
had
own
issues.
subscription. Like I was like, Monty hates me.
No, not at all. But I love it because the whole family's watching it. I got my sister downstairs, my brother upstairs watching anime now.
And your roommate.
My brother's like, yo, I'm watching this anime right now. It's kind of weird. Like, it's a little lesbian. I'm like, are you watching a it's not yaoi, yao or whatever it's called, yayo? And he's like,
yayo.
And I'm just like, I'm like, oh, bro, like there's a whole subgenre you need to understand. And he's like, oh, okay. Tell me why I log into Funimation and this dude's on like episode 9 right now. And I'm like, yo.
That's beautiful.
With Funimation though, too, I love the uncut episode type of anime. One that I feel like it should include more to a lot of provider is uncut. You know what I'm saying? Don't hide the blood. Don't hide the swear. Don't hide the sake. Show us the gritty needy when it need to, because like that make it or break it for me. Senpai.
I have something to add to that. I mean, I had all that other stuff too, man, but I want to add specifically to that because you brought up Hulu, man. Yo, so you guys ever watched Tokyo Ghoul, man, on Hulu by any chance?
Oh yeah, that's where I watched it the first time.
Yo, so if you watch it in dubbed with the English voice cast, okay, they censor like the half screen black and all that stuff, and you can't see any of that. Like, especially like the last fight with him and Jason, like when his like arm gets like mangled and his foot's like turned around like all around. Mm-hmm. Like they cut off half the screen, man, and make it black because of that. I got it backwards, man. Not in dubbed, in subbed. If you watch Japanese, they cut off. But when it came here to America, which is super weird, man, they completely got rid of that, so you could see absolutely everything. You can go check it out, man. Right after doing this whole thing, go look. The last episode.
I'm about to, yeah, sure.
And it's like the craziest thing. And I don't know why Hulu has that, but I've never run into that problem many other places, man. When you change like dubbing versus that.
I forget where I ran into that, but when I first started watching JoJo's, or maybe it's like that in the earlier parts, but they block out quite a lot of bit of gore in that same way. Like you'll see that black film. I don't know if you remember an anime where
with the baby
fucking No. Yeah, that. But when cockroaches come to like fucking Earth or something, and they're like on the moon, I don't know what anime it was called. You know what I'm talking about? Something Mars.
Don't remember that.
Mars something. Ah, man, I don't know. It was really graphic. Some weird insects were like aliens.
Listener, comment below.
Biker mice from Mars.
Stop it.
You have not lived till you watch that in the Dutch dub. I just want to let you know it's amazing.
I don't understand.
I would not listen to talk about that.
Certain animes do that when they come over to a certain service, and if you watch it in a certain language, they tend to censor it in a really strange way.
Yeah.
Like if I'm paying for something and it's rated a certain way, I should see everything the animation does.
That's a good point. If you pay for it, you should have everything without no limitation.
You tell me what I can handle.
It was also at the time with such a newer anime. It was like, you know, the 2000s. We're later 2000s, like 2009, I think, or 8. It's like, you know, like we should have been past the
movie
censorship
industry
problems.
For that.
So I think that. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead. You can go first.
No, I was gonna say that I think that if you have like that version, like if you have the Netflix kids, you know, there's like a Netflix kid kind of thing, and you end up with that, yeah, sure, cool. But like you were saying, if you're paying for it, you should be able to see uncensored things. Like you watch certain episodes of I don't know, Naruto on Toonami, and they were a little censored. Some of it got censored, right? Mm-hmm. If you're paying for it, you should watch the uncensored version.
I like that. I appreciate that too.
Oh no, Big Frank, you go next, man, because you were gonna say something.
Yeah, so my question is low key. This is like one of my conspiracy theories. Ooh. But does Funimation own like most of these shows and they just give it out? Type of thing, the streaming services, because I didn't know they own Naruto, and then they end up getting Naruto on Funimation. I'm like, oh, I thought Naruto was totally separate.
You can license it out to anybody to make money off of subscription base. So if you got enough subs after you release their anime, they get a portion of it and their views as well. It's like YouTube.
Yeah. And Funimation was that first company that started doing it big in like the early 2000s. That's why you see Funimation with everything.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say Funimation is not the studio that dubs Naruto in particular. They just got it right now because the rights were free, but they do bogart a lot of their content that they get the exclusive rights to.
Yeah.
Probably getting it from Adult Swim for that stuff, since they're doing it for America.
Yeah, sure. It was a studio based out of California that does it. Because like I was looking into it when I was watching it on an Australian streaming service. I thought it was going to be like, "Hello, my name's Naruto," and like,
where's Joey?
Yo,
because on Hulu they only have 170 dubs. Episodes in English.
Yep. That's it. That's not a lot, man. That's nothing.
They do that with Spanish dubs, bro. It's painful. Like if you watch anime from Spain, it's way different than anime from Latin America.
Dude, all I gotta say is watching Stuart Little in Spanish, bellissimo. He's got the deepest voice of all time and the tiniest body.
You know why? The same guy that voices Vegeta voices Stuart Little, bro.
No way.
That's amazing.
Send me a clip of his final flash. I want to hear it. Send it to me.
Yeah, and people do get finished with that final flash.
No, I do. I have something to say for the as far as, because everybody here likes Funimation. This seems to be a census if Funimation's the king over here.
No, it's not the king. But I'm gonna say, if you're doing dubs, you gotta. If you are a dirty dubber like me, I highly recommend Funimation, followed by High Dive.
Yes, I agree with you. But my problem
at $12.98 a month. Wow.
So I have a problem, man, and it's actually with Crunchyroll, man. I have a huge problem with them, and more specifically because I have VRV, so I do get to dabble in High Dive and like that a little bit. But so I was actually watching Fate Zero, and they have it in dubbed actually, which is interesting. So it's probably off High Dive on VRV, right? But that's the thing, man. I don't know if anybody else is like me, man. Most of the time, I like to watch things with subtitles, whether it's in English or not, because sometimes either I couldn't hear them properly, or they pronounce something, and I'm like, wait, what is that? What is that? So I want to know what it says. Yo, there's no subtitle option on VRV when you watch the dub. It's not there.
No CC? Yo, I need my CC all day, every day. I don't care.
Yeah, and that blows my mind.
Right, because
it's not
not everybody
either.
You know why? Also, because I appreciate CC, because not everybody has good hearing, right?
So what if you're hearing impaired, bro? Now what?
Yeah, right. So you want to watch it, English CC, and that includes
all they can
that
say
includes
is not for you.
Yeah,
that
because
includes the description of the music that they play, the inscription of the tone of voice. CC is just not what they're saying. There's a lot more, and I love watching things in
I
CC.
want to co-sign that. The one platform that has been dropping the ball when it comes to CC, and I'm not sure if everybody's going to agree with me, it's Netflix. And I could definitely give a good example.
Wait. I feel like that's wait. But what is that derived? You mean like in their anime, or you just mean in general? Like, because I got something to say on that, because like usually when things translate over and stuff, you know, like they don't always match up with what they normally say.
Exactly. So I experimented with 2 fighting anime, which is pretty popular.
Yeah, Baki's terrible.
Baki,
oh my lord.
With what they're saying and with the CC, way off. And then,
right, because the CC is based off the script.
Right. So I had to change the language to Japanese to make sure it actually goes together, because it was really messing me up while I was watching it. I'm sorry. Like CC is like a guideline for me at all time when I'm watching anime. Hate me or love me, that's who I am. But the other one is the Kenshu Ashura, another
Kengan Asura.
You gave it a try?
No,
I liking it.
No, I had to finish hearing it in Japanese while reading it in English with the subtitle, because of the issue with the language and the subtitle. They were not going together.
Because you were picking CC, not English subtitle.
No,
those are 2 different things.
I make sure that I pick
Roku. It's got
English subtitles and English CC are 2 different things. The English CC is going to be based off the script from Japan, and the English subtitle is the one of what they're saying.
So what I tried to do last night, I tried to put my girl on the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Watch the first episode. I was watching it with English voice acting, but the CC was Japanese translation. Whatever they were saying in English was not matching up. The reason I was doing that is because we had the AC on, we had the volume a little low, we were trying to relax, and then what was being portrayed, she's like, that's not what they're saying. Like, yeah, you're right. And then I had to turn my AC off.
Don't do that.
Well, I know. I turned the anime off instead, but still, it was like, I didn't realize that.
Oh, so not in this household. We were like, yo, you gotta be a little hot, but we watching this anime right
now. Yo, but so
go ahead, Scott.
Back to that fact, man, is that Funimation does though. Funimation handles it. If I want to watch it in English, man, like everybody wants to watch it in English, sometimes I still want to read it. I throw on the subs, man. Funimation comes through on it, which is nutty.
They do really good with the closed captioning.
Okay, I have the same.
I have a question for you guys.
Well, I want to quickly state before your question is that there are some 90s anime that I was watching on Funimation. Oh God, I see the anime, but I forgot the name of it.
Okay, what 90s anime is it?
Okay,
look at this. He's doing the dance.
Was it?
I love 90s anime.
No. It's the one that I was like talking about. Is about the girls being the assassin.
Serial Experiments Lane.
No.
Oh, Gunslinger Girl. Early 2000s.
Okay. My man Monty. That right there with the CC, it was unavailable for me whatsoever. I had to hear it.
That's so terrible,
dude. It was me, it was heartbroken, but I had to suck it up, listen carefully to the dialects, and be able to enjoy the anime that way, because it was really hard not finding the CC for that particular anime. That was my experience. I don't know.
My guess is that we would like to say that all anime are equal, but they're not. So some of them you buy the rights, and they're not going to invest any money into creating that if it's not available, right? Like if you have a big time anime like Full Metal Alchemist, you will think they'll invest it because a lot of people are going to watch it. But I don't know. What I wanted to ask you guys.
My fault.
No. Say it, bro.
So my question to you is, you just mentioned that. So that's why all the critically acclaimed anime stay for one season.
Maybe.
Like Full Metal Alchemist and like Cowboy Bebop, just that one season type of anime.
Full Metal has 5.
Oh, and Funimation only shows one season for me.
They probably combined it. What I see on Netflix,
I mean, it's 5 parts. It's just one season.
No, that's the DVD release. That's the DVD release. That's one season.
You're a DVD release.
You know what? That's like
I'll be right back.
That's like Black Clover is all one season technically because it never stopped. But depending on where you go, it's in 3 seasons right now.
And also another anime we already mentioned a bunch of times, but I'm going to say again, is Baki. Nobody knows, thanks to Juan, nobody knows that the ones on Netflix are not the original startup. There's a series called Baki the Grappler, season 1 and season 2.
Enjoy.
And the way how I seen it, unfortunately, I had to go to my other site, which is the reason why I'm about to let go of Funimation, to enjoy Baki the Grappler and watch
YouTube, man. It's on YouTube right there, baby.
Well, no. YouTube dropped the ball on me too. Because when they show season, I think it was season 1, episode 11 to 12, they completely jumped straight to season 2 on me on the playlist. So somebody dropped the ball on that, but my site Recover, I was able to watch every detail and I was good. And I watched it. I think that
there's also there are a lot of animes that the licensing, there are a lot of issues. Like I always bring up, old school Spanish people will tell you that even if they didn't watch it, they heard about it, and it's this anime called Candy Candy. It's like a telenovela anime from the 70s. It's really nice. If you want to cry, you will watch that, right? But like someone's mom watched that and they loved it. Like my sisters, they don't watch anime, but they watch that show and they'll cry watching that. Right. Look it up. Really.
Oh, we talked about that a while back.
Yeah, we're talking about it. But the thing about with that license, like I would love to buy that and just like gift it to them as a physical copy. And there are too many issues with licensing about like the writer and the company that wrote it, and they have been disputing this for 30 years, so it's just not available legally.
Somebody wrote it, somebody drew it. Yeah.
Kind of like Stan Lee and Kirby and Marvel. Right, so they said, "Oh, I created all these characters, but never got money out of it."
The amount of characters and the amount of credit that was given to Kirby posthumously was ridiculous.
Yep,
I did not know that. I learned something new.
So, but something else. My question for you guys is, if you have the option of paying for Crunchyroll, but you can pay for BRB, which correct me if I'm wrong, but BRB brings everything. From Crunchyroll plus some more
and some extras, some nice little extras.
But but when it comes to Crunchyroll, isn't it the basic package, not the ad-free version?
Oh no, it's ad-free, baby. You get premium for $9.99, dog. You pay an extra $2.
It's the same price,
and you get everything from here plus some more stuff.
Yes, so why not just get BRB?
Yeah, two extra dollars a month.
Do you really
is it too? I thought it's the same price.
No, VRV alone is $7.99 a month, whereas opposed to VRV is $9.99 a month. And if you really want to break down each and every streaming service, you get $34.99 of service for $9.99 a month. But I mean, who watches like the other channels? I'm only there for anime.
What guy? They have all the old Nickelodeon shows, man. I
wasn't a Nick kid. I was not a Nick kid. I was Cartoon Network. I was black and white.
This is not that episode. Hold up. Nope. Not that Pandora box.
It doesn't matter. My point being is that, man, you have that option. I'm trying to watch Real Monsters and Courage the Cowardly Dog. Okay.
Damn.
And that's on VRV, man.
Rocket Power.
My reply to that answer, I've had Crunchyroll forever, and I probably won't ever change. So I don't.
That's because you don't want to make another watch list. That's why.
Probably.
I've thought about that. I've 100% thought about that.
I'm so done searching for shit. Whatever's in front of me, I'm probably real casual about it, and I'm open to admit that. Okay. I don't even care about the price, to be honest. They could be $2-3 more. I wouldn't care. Whatever
I'm cheap.
Well, okay. So again, difference between us both. I don't care. But whatever the titles in the library that is in there, that's what I care about. So if VRV has more than Crunchyroll, why haven't I moved from Crunchyroll to VRV? Does it really have everything it has plus more? And am I going to get the same seasons as they come out? Like, for instance, am I going to get Demon Slayer before VRV on Crunchyroll, or am I going to get it on VRV first when that movie comes out?
That's a really good.
It's going to be on. It's going to be on both, man. It's just going to be on both.
It's exactly the same content.
Yeah,
plus
they're just like
other stuff. It's a weird thing. So I think it's a marketing
thing. What if I don't want the other stuff, and that's why I don't want to pay for it?
Then you approach Crunchyroll.
But the other thing is Crunchyroll, you can save yourself $2 a month, but you could get 500 motherfucking dubs for an extra $2 a month which
This
is
man-
More
totally
isn't
okay in
always
my book.
better.
This is
How's
the
the
hill he
streaming
dies
quality?
on.
No,
He is
man.
not
That
moving
matter.
from that hill.
What was that, man? Big
Like
Frank says
streaming
something.
quality. Streaming
the
quality
government
matters.
movies?
User
Yeah, both of them
interface
do.
matters.
Okay.
Ooh.
So,
You can
so
see
is
the
it
book.
streaming quality matters? I think that only depends on where you're watching. Like
That's
if you have
that's
a
the
really
thing,
nice,
man.
But
if you have a really nice giant 4K TV,
Like-
Netflix gives you that
Like
option.
a good friend that we have right
Prime
here.
gives you that option. But really, are you gonna be watching that 4K, quality on an anime that was made from the 90s? Like
Yes.
that's non-existent. No, that's
Yes.
non-existent because
That's why
the
we buy
anime hasn't
Blu-rays.
been
I watched
updated.
One Piece, like episodes 1 to 10 on fucking 4K, and it fit right in the middle.
But what?
no. I mean, that being said, Crunchyroll themselves are actually responsible for the user interface and supporting the VRV.
Okay.
So Crunchyroll does VRV. So you're
Okay.
getting the same exact streaming quality and you're
I
getting the
don't-
same UI that you would.
See, I gotta
So then
know,
why
man.
don't I
have
have
to compare
VRV?
that, man, because dude, I have.
I don't know.
market
You
it.
should
Market
$2,
it.
man. Do it up.
I think it's
Marketing.
marketing
Like,
because
I
everybody
think-
hears about Crunchyroll, but not VRV.
Yeah, I love my VRV.
You know,
when
who
I
told me
For
feel
that?
those of
stingy-
us that are like me, I guess we're just comfortable.
True.
Don't be
True.
comfortable. Don't be comfortable, man.
I didn't say, man.
But I got good friends who hook
Don't get
it up for me,
complacent.
so thank you guys.
So my next question will be, can we all agree that we all have, if you have it, we all have Prime for non-anime reasons?
No,
Absolutely.
absolutely. What? No. Well, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean,
No,
I
I
like my
yeah.
shipping. Yeah.
My entire
Yes.
Marvel library is on Amazon. That's where I purchase all my DC movies. That's where they go first
I
before
think-
Wait a
anything.
minute,
Disney
Disney
That's the
Plus
good.
got that
whoa,
on Clutch
whoa.
right now.
I think that's
He's
the
been doing
plus
this
side
since
to that right
before
there.
then, Disney Plus,
Okay.
yeah.
If you stop and think about it, like any other service that you go and use, if you want to watch something and they don't have it, you have to go to something else. Where Amazon, if they don't have it, they offer you the chance to buy it and watch it.
Or
That's kind of
rent
like
it.
a big deal. And that's a big
Or
deal,
rent it.
honestly, when you stop and think about it. Like, that's pretty good because they do have animes on there that you could buy full seasons of, rent or buy digitally and watch it right then and there.
Oh,
if
It's
not anything
very
else.
it's very left field of it, but while Walking Dead was good, that's where I was watching it. And to be
Nice.
fair, same with Sons of Anarchy. I didn't have cable, I didn't want it, and I didn't want to watch anything on the internet to stream because the quality sucked. So I bought the episodes, I bought the seasons and stuff like that. And I
That's
also
a
wanted
good
to
stuff.
support the studios in that way. You know what I mean?
Perfect.
I don't do that anymore because everything is much more accessible than it was before, and they have no choice but to do that. But back then, that's how I did that. I don't do it as much now.
Now,
Fair.
the question will be,
Oh.
between, for anime purpose, Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
God damn. Bro.
VRV. I mean, the whole discussion.
No,
No.
between
No,
he said,
we asked.
He said
Netflix
between the
or
two.
Netflix only. I'm gonna say Netflix because Netflix money has gotten them things that other people don't have. Like Dero. Like that wasn't anywhere else. We
Alright.
just got it.
Alright.
I gotta say
Dora?
Netflix. Netflix
Yeah.
is my vote.
I say
Yeah, Netflix.
Hulu. Hulu has
Go ahead,
Hulu
Mike.
has 130 more options.
Yeah, Hulu got
And
me.
they're grade A options. They're not even like the bottom.
They are
of the
not
barrel.
all grade A.
Okay,
options.
okay.
Not
Now,
all.
Some trash
Now, here's the
fucking
thing.
anime on Hulu.
So does Netflix. Get out of here.
Yeah,
but
Seven
here's-
Deadly Sins is one of them.
B Star is also
Yeah.
another one. So
I just wanted to
Whoa,
connect
B
that. I'm
stars
sorry, I
might
set
actually
you up
not
there.
be that bad. It's just it comes out bad. But yo, listen, man. All right,
Stop that. You just opened a whole... no. Stop.
No, man. But what I was trying to say is that listen, all right, they may have more, but quantity isn't always better than quality.
Well,
Amen.
what I like about Hulu is that new episode of My Hero Academia, boom, I can watch it right there. New episode of Attack on Titan, boom, I can watch it right
on
there.
Hulu, yep.
Bro,
On Hulu,
I
right?
Yeah,
just
but
got
that's a
back
couple
into
days later, though.
No.
A couple
No,
I
days
had
later.
just
No,
gotten back
immediately.
into anime in like 2014,
Mhm.
and I was watching One Punch Man. I didn't realize I was watching it the day after it aired in Japan, which blew my mind. And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
"Oh shit! Like this is fucking cool as fuck, man!" Like,
And if you like One Punch Man, then you'd be like, yo, what is this Psycho Mob 100? And then boom, it hit you good right there. Yo, that recommendation
That
from
was-
Hulu? Yes, I see you right there. I see you right there with the shirt.
Yo,
Hulu
it
for
got
me-
to the point where I was watching Funimation because Funimation was my #1 streaming service. I was watching My Hero season 2 or 3, I think,
Mhm.
and it was like they would be behind a few weeks because they would fall behind schedule as they normally do. So I'm like, nah, Hulu, I'd watch it in subs right then.
Especially Erased, guys. Come on, man. You got both options right there, side by side.
I think.
Oh, come on.
Wait, no, because
I brought this back over and over, but the same way that Toonami was the introduction of anime for us.
Yes.
Netflix is the introduction of anime for the new generation.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Ooh. Whoa, don't say unfortunately. That sounds so negative.
There's only 100 titles.
He said it right.
Dude, but okay, listen.
It's only 100 titles, but they're watching Soul Eaters.
All 100 titles.
Listen, do you ease your friend into something new, or do you just shove it down their throat? Because like if you put Funimation in their throat, like Netflix is like an easy step in. It's like good easy stuff too.
But like, and I do like the variety because I feel like a lot of people when they think anime, they think shonen. And I'm like, there's so much more than shonen.
Yep.
Yeah. Like.
Thank you for saying that, by the way.
Like some pervy shit you like to watch.
Or just slice of life. Get out my face, okay?
I know most of you are not going to like with this, what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Do it.
Netflix got me with Fairy Tail. You know what I'm saying? And I was so mad thinking that as soon as I saw the final season 1 in Netflix, I thought that was it. Oh, wow. What a great anime. I jumped to Hulu, and Hulu was like, "Nah, son, we got 2, we got 3,
not a great anime.
We got 4."
No, son,
no, what?
No, it's a fun anime to watch.
Do not disrespect Natsu like that. Whatever.
But like, I mean,
Fairy Tail is nice. Don't get out of here.
I'll disrespect him right now.
And you know what? He'll hit you with them secret flame dragon arts. Okay, get out of here.
Well,
from that time
again, what I said is that Netflix is a nice introduction for the newer generation for anime. So a lot of that is like the first 3 seasons of Bleach. Boom.
So I have a question.
That's your
introduction. They have Brotherhood too. They have Brotherhood.
Yes.
That one season.
It'll probably be the final question, maybe.
Okay. And Evangelion. They have Evangelion.
No, but like you start watching that. It's like, so they get in there, they can watch the first couple of seasons of Naruto. I don't think they ever got Shippuden, but they can watch it's an introduction, and then those kids are like, okay, so I want to continue watching this, or I want to watch the movies. Where do I find that? And then they leave Netflix and they go somewhere else.
So let's say there's a new viewer, right?
Are you okay?
They don't have a subscription service, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of us has a friend, they got put on or whatever. If you were to recommend one subscription service for them to start with,
Netflix.
What would you have them start with? Okay.
Netflix
1. Frank? Crunchyroll. Okay.
Wow.
Senpai?
If I had to, I'm so sorry. I have to actually. I'm so sorry. I wasn't here to pay attention to that question.
If you were to recommend a subscription service to someone who's going to be new to anime, as if they haven't watched a single one before, and they were like, "Man, I really want to get into this. I watched an episode with my friend. What subscription service should I get?" Okay,
Netflix.
that's 2 for Netflix. Monty?
Ooh, no, sorry, I'm just coming back. What's up?
If you were to recommend a subscription service to a new to anime human being that hasn't watched it before, what would you recommend to them?
To a complete normie, I would probably recommend Hulu.
Okay, so it's 2 for Netflix, 1 for Crunchyroll, 1 for Hulu. Jay?
Kiss Anime.
It had to be so fucking left field. It's not a subscription service. It's a pirated service, which we do not condone, Big Brother.
We don't say Pirate Bay.
Yeah, but no. On a serious note, I know where y'all is coming from. It's Hulu. I'm sorry. After you finish a good anime, it recommends you some other ones that follow through with the same.
So
genre.
Does Netflix.
Yeah, they just did that. 2 years ago? And Hulu started as a way.
What are you talking about?
Son, I know what I'm saying.
You finish a show and it says other shows because you watched this.
That was
other
added
shows.
on.
No. As of late, Netflix is just trying to push what the most popular things are.
Yes.
It's like, I know you just finished crunching this documentary about drugs. Do you want to watch Sabrina, the Teenage Witch?
It's a little bit off.
No, I don't, sir.
The reason that they have to do that, though, is because Disney took a lot of things off of Netflix.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
A lot.
And Jail.
So
who would you recommend?
I would recommend, as Frank said, Crunchyroll, because that's as soon as I get in, it's in my face. I have Popular, I have Simulcast, I have updated.
But
to a normie, he
it's
said
simple.
though.
To a normie, yes. But it just seems much more anime-esque
to a
than the other
normie,
layouts.
a normie's gonna be a little more like they're gonna be a little more hesitant to get into dubs. I mean, subs.
I didn't even know a Crunchyroll was an ahi tuna sushi roll reference until 2 years after using it.
Oh,
What?
Wow.
Wait, what?
Slow it
I just
down.
feel like Netflix and Hulu is just so Americanized. I just feel like Crunchyroll just has that heritage to it. I just feel like
agree
it
with
sounds, you know what I'm saying?
As
So if
source
I'm watching-
material, I agree with that. It's
Yeah.
like I'm watching Japan itself.
Exactly. I won't go on Netflix and watch something that's like eating General Tso's. I want something real. You know
My
what I'm saying?
man,
That's what I want. That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Right
This
there. I
motherfucker said,
respect.
"Bring me the shark fin soup because I'm fucking king."
Let's go.
There
Let's
you
go. Who's making it? Let's go.
That's cool.
Well
Alright.
said, bro.
I think that's a really great way to end the show. But before I do the outro, Big Frank, once again, floor is yours, man. Let people
Plug it.
know where they could find you, what they could do.
Who are you, sir?
Once again,
Big Frank Instagram is going to be the Big Frank CTHEBIGFRANKC. You can find me that on Facebook as well. On streaming services is Big Frank, one word. If you want to listen to my music. And like I said, if you guys listen to the show, any listener listens to the show, and you look at photography or music, you getting a deal from me if you listen to the show. So.
yes, sir. We also want to give a special shout out to the guy who made the intro and the outro. You love the beat from the start with the sounds and the ancient art of the Japanese. I'm talking about Rat Castle, man. Shout out to him. Thank you again.
Someone said it sounded like a Samurai Shampoo soundtrack.
Woo,
piece today.
but it was a
Yes.
Rat Castle original, though. Let them know.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Also, you can follow the Shinobi Unfolding again on the Facebook, on the Insta, on the Twitter, on the YouTube, on the all the podcast media around the world, the interweb.
If you listen to a podcast, you can search us. We're there.
Yes.
Hell, you can even email us directly at the Shinobi Unfolding at Gmail. What
You have
up?
a Gmail account? I did not even know that. But again,
Well,
you should start listening to us on Spotify so that, a month from now, when everybody says, hey, I'm listening to this very popular podcast that just got moved to Spotify, you can say, I've been listening to, podcasts on Spotify since before September.
Yeah, I love how you just found that out. It's amazing.
I just found out like last night.
What? What did you find out?
We are on
We're on
Spotify.
We're on Spotify, bro.
I was like, you gotta look at the analytics, man. It's
Guys,
the
that's how
same.
I
that for a
that's how I
year, dude.
Listen to you guys. I've
We got there a
listened
year.
on Spotify.
We were on Spotify without, we just didn't get that 100 million deal.
No.
But they still send us that email at the end of the year. So shout out to everybody from the European and Middle East and as well as South America.
Yo,
we love you guys.
We're popular in
Thank
the UK for some reason, but like I'm dope. It's cool. I'll do it.
And
That's
also
where those
Japan.
143 views are coming from.
Yo, no word of a lie, not to toot our home, but we have this one episode called Pika Pika Pikachu, and that shit just popped because of Japanese. So thank you guys. Yo, I'm not gonna front. Now, quote of the night. This anime is definitely from Cowboy Bebop, Dr. Landis. He says, "Do you know what's the greatest and worst invention that human ever made was? Television. Television control people using information and steal the sense of reality. Yes. Now, television itself, it's a religious. So, the J effect. Yep, I know. J effect. Big time.
That sounded like an infomercial.
I know.
Telling me not to watch TV.
This whole episode was about watching delicious, amazing television. And you're just like, television is
And
trash.
you're just gonna
The
crush
J
it like that.
effect, okay?
The J
It's the J effect, bro.
Yo, Frank, you just experienced the J effect. So, this is the Shinobi Unfolding. We love you. Buenas noches. Peace.
Peace.
Deuces.